I'm Ryan,
And I'm Asher.
and this is the Dynamic Duo.
Dynamic duo.
Get spookto! Today we're going to talk about Fallout 4. We're going to talk about old games versus new games and how they compare. We're going to talk about the popular stuff on the YouTube. Talk about some movies. We're going to talk about Glenn Danzig, yeah, the musician. We can talk about Arkham Knight, the game. We can talk about esports. And we're going to talk about Half-Life 3. Anyways, so Fallout 4 is a game that got announced a while back, and then a trailer was shown at E3, and then a bunch of people got hyped, and then
Yeah.
QuakeCon happened. So we're going to talk about some stuff related to Fallout 4. First thing on the agenda is romantic companions. That's a kind of a new thing in a Fallout game.
Yes. It kind of, from what I'm looking at here, it's gonna kind of play out like Mass Effect almost a little bit. You have to talk to your companion, get them to trust you, do stuff they want you to do, and then boom, you can just have them in your bed.
Yeah, this is actually new for a Bethesda game, as far as I know. It wasn't in any of the base games, other than this one, I guess. Because in what game? Fallout New Vegas, there was some sort of that kind of stuff. But you know what? There was a robot in Fallout New Vegas. Now, this robot was named
Yes.
Fisto, I guess. I think his name was.
We all remember him.
There was romancing in that
Oh,
game
boy.
in Fallout New Vegas.
It wasn't really serious though. It was more kind of satirical, kind of comedy more than it was actually getting to know the other character and having a bond with them. But it looks like they're going to be taking the more serious route with Fallout 4. You know, kind of
Yeah.
have a bond, you know.
And have the world a little bit more fleshed out by doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
So that was pretty cool. That's a kind of a new thing that's happening. There was a lot of stuff also at QuakeCon. I don't remember any other stuff, so we're just gonna talk about the creatures in the game. How some of them have been remodeled in this game, like the Protectron and the ghouls. What do you think of those? And how do you think they look?
I think the ghouls have been upgraded significantly. Alright, I think their new models look great. They don't look dumb like they used to. They
yeah.
actually look kind of like ghouls should be. Protectrons, they're a bit more cleaner, you know, as clean as can be. They're a bit more shinier. And I like the look of them. Mr. Gutsy looks great.
Yeah. I really like the design of the new
I don't know.
Protectrons. I really like them a lot more than I like the old one. It just looks a lot better.
Yeah. And I think it has to do with the fluid animation for them.
Yeah.
You know, when they step, they kind of bounce up. In old games, they just kind of, you know, waddled
Yeah.
around. But in here, you know, they step and they bounce up, and you can see the metal kind of going up and down. It's great.
Yeah. I like the whole
think
new
it has
color.
to-
Like it's yellow instead of like a normal
Yes.
gray, and it has like a red like eye, I guess, quote unquote eye in the middle of it, and it just
Yeah.
adds it. It makes it feel more like a robot.
It looks more futuristic.
Uh-huh.
It looks more like, n-
1950s
Think
era
Dream
ideal future robot.
yeah, like, it has that old look to it, but it also feels new, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause this is based in what, 2,700?
No, I think it's 2277. I think
Yeah,
around there,
But
because
anyway,
I think of something about like
it's
200
very
years
far-
after the Great War.
yeah. And, you know, these were made, what, to be soldiers, right? To
Yeah.
have,
Protect things.
robots, right? If I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And they just have that feel.
Mhm.
And it looks great. It doesn't look so stiff. It doesn't look so dumb. You know, it just, I like it. I like the look. I don't know. Have we gotten any like looks at a super mutant yet?
Yeah, there were a few images of super
Have we
mutants.
gotten any-
In the some of the gameplay stuff that they showed off at the E3, there was a few pictures of them like fighting on like maybe like a rooftop or something. They looked actually pretty cool. They didn't look like a traditional super mutant like in the other games. They looked kind of more
Yeah.
human, I guess, than what was a super mutant. They weren't as like bulky,
Well, because
I guess.
yeah. Mm, I don't know. I don't know. I kind of like the old Super Mutants in Fallout 3 and Fallout New
Mhm.
Vegas, but I can understand them trying to make them less, I guess, mutant-like.
Yeah.
Still keeping the big stature and kind of green skin,
Right.
but I don't know. I don't know if I like the direction they're going with it.
I like a lot of the design of some of the stuff in Fallout 4. Like everything kind of looks a lot better. Like
Yeah.
there were pictures of like, well, I mean, not pictures, but people were saying that they didn't like the graphics looked like garbage, I guess, in Fallout 4.
Yeah.
But that's
And
not the case
in
at all.
the
I don't think so.
yeah. I mean, there's a bit of a kind of downgrade in the pre-war section.
Well,
If you look at some of the trailers,
yeah.
you can see kind of a downgrade. But overall, I think the people, the characters look great.
Hmm.
I think the models look great. I think some of the cities and some of the terrain looks great. There's just a couple of textures that are a little blurred out.
I think that was just like,
A little weird.
I think that was just like the case that the game is not going to be out for like, I think it was like 5 months at that
Yeah.
point, and
Yeah.
it's probably not finished. That was probably just a stand-in texture, if I am thinking correctly. Because there's a lot of bugs that I was noticing in the trailers and stuff. So it's gonna change.
Yeah.
Plus, and there's a lot of stuff that I think is gonna change.
Yeah, obviously they're gonna fix some stuff and they're probably gonna smooth everything out. But right now, from what we've seen of the trailer, there are a couple of textures that don't look as good.
Hmm.
But that doesn't mean the whole game as a whole is just gonna look terrible.
Yeah.
I like a lot of the models. I like a lot of the terrain. I like some of the cities. I like the lighting. I think that's important for a Fallout game is
Yeah.
the lighting. And yeah, I'm looking at this Super Mutant now that you linked me to.
Hmm.
Um,
I sent you a link to a gallery.
It looks so good.
It was like
Yeah, you sent.
a PC Gamer gallery, and there was pictures of like super
Yeah.
mutants on there. I don't know if you saw them. Anyways, we're gonna go to I'm still sticking on this one. Deathclaw's got a new kind of a revamping, I guess. They don't look a whole lot different, but they definitely do look different. I guess they look better as like
Yeah.
something that resembles the name Deathclaw.
And again, it goes back to this. Just the animation on the Deathclaw has made such a big impact on it. Back in Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas, the animations for the Deathclaw were just silly in my opinion.
Back in Fallout 3 and New Vegas,
around.
the animations for everything were just garbage.
Thing was off.
Like you
But
would like
now-
walk around and you wouldn't actually be moving on the ground. You were just moving your legs and you were
Yeah,
like
you're
sliding
just
across the
skating.
ground. Yeah.
It was not good.
No.
But I do like the new Deathclaw. They've kept the same color scheme. They kind of defined the muscles a little bit, made it a bit bigger, a bit stronger looking.
It looks a lot more
they-
deadly.
Yeah, it looks more like, a Deathclaw.
Yeah.
And I just like the animation from a little bit that we've seen of it. It's like a death scene, I guess.
Hmm.
I guess there's going to be finishing moves or whatever, if you want to call it that, which I like.
Mhm.
I know in Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 3 they had them. If you shot somebody, sometimes you would get lucky and see a death cam.
Yeah.
And
And there was some
hopefully
stuff like in
they-
Skyrim. There was some stuff like that, but
Yeah.
in this game it seems more
But
like
it
they're
seems like-
there instead of it's just a thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and I kind of like that. And I didn't like the Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas way of doing it.
Mhm.
Skyrim was okay, but
Yeah.
a lot of it was janky. It was so stiff how they would move the sword or
Yeah.
bash somebody.
I guess we have to
But
wait
it
and
looks
see
like-
what it actually
Yeah,
ends
we
up
have to
being.
wait and see.
There's a
But-
lot of new enemies too. Like there was synths is a new thing. That's kind of like an android, I guess, but it's kind of like a ghoul, like a feral ghoul or something. But it's like an android to where it's not. It's hostile towards the player character, which is cool.
Yeah.
There was a blood bug or something That's kind of cool.
Mhm.
Uh, can you think of any other like enemies that are new in the game?
Not really.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly because I don't know much
Yeah.
about what's being added in terms of enemies and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely, I think the just going back to remodeling and animations, I think they're doing a good job. Behemoth, I'm looking at the Super Mutant Behemoth. It kind of looks more old school type Super Mutant.
Mm-hmm.
Not really like the Fallout 3 one where they were just green and disgusting and just flesh ripping off. Like you said, it kind of looks more humanoid. Kind of looks like a troll.
Yeah, I'm not gonna
But
go into like the lore of Fallout or anything here, but like, of course, there's like
yeah,
multiple different types of super mutants, like the Mariposa super
yes,
mutants, and then the Vault
yeah,
87 super mutants and stuff. So
yeah,
it depends on which kind of super mutant it is. We don't really know yet.
yeah.
So.
Honestly, and this is just my opinion. I think most people will enjoy this more,
Hmm.
this new look to them. But personally, I kind of like the Fallout 3, just weird, disgusting,
Yeah.
ripped flesh type thing. I like that.
Yeah.
Because this looks a little too clean. It
Hmm.
looks a little too clean to be a super mutant.
Yeah.
But maybe that's just because I played Fallout 3.
Hmm.
If someone came from the originals, it probably looks
Well,
natural to them.
I was gonna say like the super mutants look so different that they actually could be a different type of super mutant than like
And
Fallout
they
3 or
could
New
be. They
Vegas.
could be.
But I don't know. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
get into the lore of Fallout so much.
Yeah.
What do you
To
think?
be fair, to be fair, just one last thing about it.
Mhm.
They kind of do blend in with the wasteland a little bit. Just
Yeah.
kind of looking at the skin coloring,
Yeah.
kind of do blend in with the wasteland. But anyway,
Yeah.
what were you gonna say?
What do you? I'm gonna transition here. What are your hopes
Yes.
and aspirations for Fallout 4? What do you hope that they do that wasn't in any other ones or something like that?
Um, what I hope they do is there's a lot of things coming to this game that I like, right? I like the new VAT system, I like the look, there's going to be crafting, there's going to be a thing where you can build your own bases and stuff
Mhm.
like that. And I think that's cool. What I hope to kind of see is maybe some stuff in the ocean.
Mhm.
Some more stuff in the sea.
Yeah.
Or
More
something
fleshing out of
that
the
has
the
to do with
water.
water.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a lot of things you could do with the water. You know, going underwater and seeing all these weird FEV evolved fish, maybe, or something like that.
Yeah.
Radiated fish. Something, a new direction,
Yeah.
maybe.
Personally, I was looking for more like a population in the world because in Skyrim there was a little bit of population in the world, but it wasn't like you would just walk down the street and you would see like a bunch of bandits trying to raid
Yeah.
like a place, and that like I'm really wanting
Yeah.
that to see that when you're just walking around, there's something happening.
Dynamics.
Yeah, because I mean I know there's
Yeah,
like
the world changes.
there's some mods for Skyrim that's like organized bandits in Skyrim or war zones or something to where there's like actually stuff going on in the world, and I really want to see that. And so far from what I've seen, I think that's going to be there, or at least in a certain way. I hope it's more advanced than just like at when base building there's going to be raiders coming in. I hope it's everywhere that's going to be happening. There's going to be bandits and
Yeah.
raiders going everywhere. Something to do. Always something to do.
Yeah, like if we go to Fallout 3, the only thing you can really do in that game that changes the world, that makes a big impact, no pun intended, was dropping or not dropping, exploding the bomb in Megaton.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was dynamic. That was cool. I mean, it didn't really do anything for the story. I don't remember. They probably just mentioned it a couple of times, but didn't really, go into depth about it.
Yeah.
Oh, you blew up the bomb in Megaton. I'm mad at you. Karma drops.
Yeah.
And that was pretty much it. I do kind of hope there are more consequences to your actions. That karma isn't just a thing where it, decides how people like you or not. I hope
Yeah.
it does allow.
Change the story, I guess. And I've seen some like
Yeah.
some stuff about like certain like discussion, like the options you choose while you're talking to people actually changes the way your character talks to people. Like they sound like more snarky or they sound a little bit nicer or whatever.
Yeah.
Whether you choose like nicer or ruder things to say. What do you think about the base building aspect of the game overall?
I like the idea, because that's kind of what Fallout is
Yeah.
about, right? It's about building a new civilization, getting humanity back on its feet. One thing I don't like about it, though, and I don't know, Todd Howard could change this, and maybe he just accidentally said the wrong thing, but he said there were locations, and I don't remember the exact quote, but what it sounded like is what he said is, there are gonna be parts where you can build, right?
Yeah.
It isn't, you can't just build anywhere. There's gonna be key parts where you can build, your own base.
Mm-hmm.
And that, I mean, it's not a big thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's an improvement over Skyrim, where you only had like one place to build in the Hearthfire DLC.
And that was DLC, so.
Right. Yeah, and that was DLC, so this is added in the base game.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the idea. Like I said, Fallout is not about a bigger plasma gun. It's about building.
Yeah.
It's about getting humanity back up. And I like the idea. I just wish, if you could build anywhere. Now, I'm not saying this is the case, because maybe Todd Howard just said the wrong thing, you know?
I feel
He's gonna add it.
that it's gonna be that way, that he said the right thing, because personally I don't see how, like, it would be nice, but I don't see how they're gonna do it right now. Like in the future,
Yeah.
maybe, but I don't see it happening in this game. Because
Yeah, 'cause they would have to modify the world a lot,
yeah,
right? So they could accommodate for you building. And you know, it's not the biggest deal to just build a house that I'll probably never go to, right?
yeah,
I'll probably just stay on the road.
mm-hmm.
But for those people who do like to build, who do like to craft, and finally they're getting it in a Fallout game, they might be a little disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna assume there's gonna be a lot of locations
Yeah.
to build.
And
you know, a lot of
actually,
places you can
I don't know about all of the number or whatever, but I remember like reading somewhere or hearing somewhere that there were large areas. They weren't just like 10-foot by 10-foot box that you can build in. They were large areas. So yeah, that was cool.
And what I think is the best about this civilization thing, this building, I think what's the greatest thing about it is people can come in to that
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
place you built.
like traders and stuff.
They can trade and they can live there.
Mhm.
And I think that's the coolest thing.
And you have to like,
Finally,
you have to actually
Howard
take care of them.
is trying
Like,
to capture Fallout.
it's not just like a person coming in and it's just a person. You have to actually like build
Yeah.
crops and stuff so they can sell crops.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And you can get security guards and stuff, people who know how to shoot.
And you can
they'll-
like have like actual like
there.
settlements to where that you have build like traps and stuff,
Yeah.
which is cool.
Yeah. And I think that's super cool.
Yeah.
Um,
What are your other thoughts on like how the game looks overall? Like some of the textures or the lighting. I know you brought it up earlier, but what are your like more in-depth thoughts?
I like I said, I like the models.
Mhm.
I like how the clothing looks. I like everything about that. Animations are better than they've ever been.
Mhm. Yeah.
Of course, this is going off the trailers. I don't know how they are in game, but they look so good, and I just love it so much.
Yeah, the animations
It
are
looks right.
great. I mean, like, this happens more recently in games, but in like Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas, when you like, or in Skyrim even, when you're just running one way and then you turn around, it would just snap to you being turned around. But now in this game, there's actually a turning animation, which is really great.
Mhm.
Because that always bugged me in
Now,
Skyrim,
what
even
I
when you
like
just
to
turn
see-
around and you're just like there.
What I would like to see in Fallout 4 is more animations when you're talking to people.
Yeah,
In Fallout 3, it was just zoom in. You barely saw a thing.
that's what I think's gonna happen because
Skyrim,
I was watching some stuff and it had like, you know, there's a different type of like discussion instead of like you have a box
Yeah.
in the bottom and you would pick from different options. Now there's like kind of more Mass Effect in a way.
Yeah, I saw that, and I kind of like that. I kind of like that a little bit more.
And what I know about the Mass
you
Effect
know.
system is that it helps to make it more realistic. It makes it look better because you can use like you can cut off half of the body and use all of those resources in the actual emotion and whatever. So that's cool.
Yeah. I just kind of want to see more emotion on the people's faces when
Yeah.
you're talking to them. When you say something like, "Hey, I don't like you," instead of them going, "Well, I don't like you too." We can see why kind of their face shift, get more tense, get a little angrier. That would be nice. And maybe even some hand motions instead of just, guarding yourself and then like putting your hand out for 2 seconds and then waving it and then putting it back in.
Yeah.
Crossing your arms is not a big deal.
No. I want to see more stuff going on in the background in conversations too. Like
Yeah.
actually
that'd be
things
nice.
happening. Not just the world freezes as you talk to this
Yeah.
one person.
I would really like to see books in the game that you can read, even
Mhm.
if they're, somewhat burnt. Because though I like the idea of terminals, I like them being just computers or old monitors,
Yeah.
all that good stuff, because it fits the era.
Yeah.
But I would like it. I would like books to actually be a thing.
Yeah.
and
Not
not
every book in the
terminals being
world
the only
is
background
destroyed.
you get.
No way every book in the world is burned. No way.
If every book in the world is destroyed, then why aren't all the terminals destroyed?
Why isn't
It's kind of
everything destroyed?
inconsistent.
Why did the bomb target
Yeah.
specifically books?
Anti-reading books.
Yeah.
I love it.
Okay,
But-
well, now that we're talking
Yeah,
about
I
our
see that.
aspirations and thoughts about the game, what are your fears about the game?
Yes. Alright, so getting this out of the way, obviously it's being made by Bethesda.
Yeah.
Alright, they don't have a good track record with bugs.
Launch history, yeah.
There's always going to be a bug.
Yeah. In the beginning of the
It's
game,
nothing
there's
great.
always something that's gonna break the game crazy.
Yeah, it's, it happens.
Mhm.
They're not good with it. I'm kind of scared they're gonna... I'm hoping for a real good story. I know Bethesda has the potential to make a great story.
That's what they were saying
But
about the
saying
game.
from their
Is that
Fallout-
that's why that's why conversations are different and there's actually voice acting, so they can make the story a little bit better, to where you can relate to your character a little bit more.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look at Witcher, for example. That's a fully voiced character.
Yeah.
Right?
Always has
You
been.
can relate to him. Yeah, always has been. And that's a shift from Fallout.
Mhm.
Right? It's always been non-voiced.
Yeah.
But the way I look at it is, the voice acting isn't the problem with the RPG element.
Mhm.
What's the problem is that there are already set lines for your character.
Yeah.
So, no matter how many times I go into a conversation with a dude, I'm always going to have set lines for the same dude, right? Voice acting isn't going to really change the problem.
Yeah.
What's going to change the problem is going to be, like, years down the line.
Yeah.
When
A
you can
lot
put
more
in
time.
Your own thing, and and they can react to it.
Yeah. PlayStation 6 stuff.
Voice acting, I think, is just a nice touch.
Mhm.
Because they're still going to have the same options. You can still choose how your character wants to be. I might want the guy to be evil, so
Yeah.
they're obviously going to have evil choices. My problem isn't the voice acting. It's a problem with just any dialogue in a Fallout game.
Yeah. Personally, I don't have any problems with the voice acting in the game or that kind of stuff,
Yeah.
or any fears with it. What I'm most scared of in this game is that it's just boring. The game is just boring.
Yes.
Because if it's just boring,
And-
there's nothing that's gonna fix the game. There's absolutely no way to
Yeah.
fix the game. It's just boring,
That.
and I don't want it to be
Yeah,
boring.
like. Me neither. No one wants the game to be boring, but my fear is in game. What's gonna happen afterwards? Are we gonna have to buy another DLC just to play
Well,
afterwards?
I'm gonna
I don't want to
reassure
do it.
you on this one. Todd Howard's already said they messed up the ending on Fallout 3. They're not gonna do that again. So
All right.
yeah.
Well, that's good.
Also,
But it goes back to what you said.
yeah.
It might be boring.
Mhm.
What's there to do?
Another fear I have with the game is that something came out recently about the game, of it being like
Yes.
different areas in the game have different level caps. I guess not level caps, you can still go in there, but the world doesn't scale with you to where you can't just explore anywhere and you can just be there. but you have to like if you go somewhere, you can easily get killed by anything. And that's how it is in this next Fallout game. To where I can't explain it properly, but if you go into like
there's gonna be a different area is gonna have enemies that are stronger than your character.
Like it's gonna be like certain areas are like 0 through 5, and then there's 5 through 10 level areas, and then there's like 10 through 15 level areas, I think. And that kind of decreases the amount of exploration you can have in the game, which kind of decreases it increases my fear of it just being boring, because you can't just go over there and do that.
I can understand that, but I kind of like that. I think Skyrim did it pretty good, where everything kind of scaled to you to a limit. But I think what everyone agrees with is that Skyrim and any other Bethesda game is way too easy.
Yeah.
You can beat it at level 1. It's no problem. Never level up, you're fine. So I think this is a step in the right direction as long as they don't overblow it.
Yeah.
I think it could be good. You know, I go into an area, I get my butt handed to me, right? I can still explore it, but I have to be really careful. And yeah, I can understand that getting boring.
Yeah.
I can understand that being a crutch to some people, but for me, I think it's a good idea to have some locations where it's just like, okay, my character cannot beat that no matter how hard I try. Just go off and level up somewhere. Now, what I'm afraid of that is if it gets too excessive. If I'm level 1 and the place is like level 5, and I'm supposed to go there in the story, but the story only allows me to get to like level, I don't know, 3 maximum.
Yeah.
Right? So I get there and the story says go in there. But I can't because I'm not that level. My fear is that they're forcing me to do something else so I can just level up.
Yeah, just grind and grind and grind so you can progress through the story.
And this brings me to another fear, that the quests, the side quests, are just going to be fetch quests, that they're just going to be boring.
Or just go and kill these enemies. Kill these enemies over and over and over again. Just like Skyrim.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm just scared that they're not going to be interesting. They're not going to have anything to do with the story. And it's just going to be done for nothing.
Yeah. So I think that was a good conversation we had about Fallout 4.
Yeah.
What do you? Another thing about Fallout, the Fallout Anthology was announced. Now I don't know if you've taken a look at it, which you should click on the link that's there. Because
let me look at this
there's how it looks. It looks really cool. Just look down, scroll down, I guess. It comes in like a shell, a bombshell, a literal bombshell.
That's nice. I love that.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
That has a little sound when you open it up. It looks a lot better than the Elder Scrolls Anthology. Yeah, all the Fallout games made it in there. And plus, there's a little slot for Fallout 4, so that's cool.
Nice. Yeah, the Elder Scrolls Anthology was not that impressive.
No, it didn't look good. It had the stuff in it, but it didn't look good. This one looks good. It has a bomb on it. It's held inside of a bomb case. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. It holds 6 games, but it comes with 5 games. Of course, being Fallout 4.
I'm gonna put Skyrim in there.
Yeah, put Skyrim in there. That's right. So I think that was a good conversation about Fallout. You know, Fallout 4 comparing to Fallout 3. How do you think that holds up?
Oh, Fallout 4 will definitely be better than Fallout 3. Fallout New Vegas was better than 3.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that really depends on the person. You know. I mean, you say Fallout New Vegas is better than Fallout 3, and I went back and played a little bit of Fallout 3, and I feel... I don't know. This is just me speaking with nostalgic goggles on. I think Fallout 3 is better, because I have more experiences in that game that are actually fun to me.
And fair enough. What I loved about Fallout 3 was the exploration. Exploration, if I can talk.
Yeah.
I just like that you can go in old abandoned buildings, and there were a bunch of them, right?
Yeah.
You know, it was creepy, it was nice, I loved the atmosphere. Fallout New Vegas, it was just barren, it was a wasteland.
Yeah.
And, wow, it fits the theme.
Yeah.
You know, you're in
It was too
Vegas,
much. It was
or
too
New
much.
Vegas.
There
It
was nothing to
too
do.
much. Yeah, for a gameplay stand, it just nothing to do.
Yeah.
Sure, it had its locations that were cool, Jacobstown, but overall it was kind of boring. But what I think Fallout New Vegas did better was the story, the choices you can make, the characters, the guns aiming down sights
Yeah.
has finally been
Yes.
implemented.
Yes.
Like,
I
that
completely
was
forgot about that
dumb.
not being in Fallout 3, and I went back and played it, and I'm like, what is this? Why is it just zooming in?
Yeah, you just like your face goes to the rifle, like
Yeah.
the barrel of the gun.
Like you break your neck
That
forward.
way. Yeah, it was not good. I just like more
Yeah.
of New Vegas.
Mm.
And I think 3 had some better vaults.
Talking about comparing new versus old, how do you think Skyrim holds up to Oblivion?
Oh boy, alright, so I used to play Oblivion a lot,
Mhm.
2006. I got it, first day release, loved it, beat it like several times. I love the game. So I'm kind of biased towards it.
Mm-hmm.
I think Skyrim was not as good as people say it is.
Mhm.
I think it did things better than Oblivion. Gameplay wise, I like the melee better. The magic is still kind of dull.
Yeah.
But I think Oblivion had a lot more spells that were fun to use. I kind of like Skyrim's level up system, though I think Oblivion, I still like it more. Scaling has been improved. Nobody is wearing Daedric armor now.
Yeah. You can't just go to a Aelid ruin and find somebody wearing a full set Daedric stuff, so
Yeah.
that's nice.
Yeah. So, it's good.
Yeah.
But I just think Oblivion had a better world, had a better quest, had better characters.
Yeah.
I kind of like, magic was. I loved the magic in Oblivion. And Oblivion just had that Elder Scrolls feel. I
Mhm.
can't explain it, but it had that feel to it. I like the music better in Oblivion. There's just a lot more things that make it a better Elder Scrolls experience.
Yeah. And I can see how that is.
Skyrim was too.
Because-
Skyrim was too dull and
Yeah.
too boring and too serious.
Mm-hmm. And it really, like, it changes from person to person, depending on what you like in a game, I guess. Because, I mean,
Definitely.
I personally prefer Skyrim over Oblivion. Maybe it's because I've spent more time in Skyrim. I played it a lot when it came out. And I played Oblivion, like, maybe a year before Skyrim came out, so it wasn't, I didn't have a whole lot of time with that. And, I mean, I prefer Skyrim more, because it just feels more like a game to me, I guess. I don't know. Oblivion.
Yeah, and Oblivion's combat, granted, is very primitive.
Which Skyrim didn't do a whole lot better, but
Skyrim didn't do a whole lot better, but this goes this comes full circle. Animation
yeah,
makes a big deal
yeah.
on how fun a game is.
And graphics also improved a whole lot. And like, if
Yeah.
people say graphics don't matter, I've said this before, but they're wrong, because graphics do very much so matter.
They very much like.
There's a lot of games that are
really
just
weird.
advertised based on graphics. If a game
Yeah.
comes out that's advertised with great graphics and it comes out with bad graphics, people are going to complain. That's kind of a big thing. People are going to stop buying the game.
But and it just and it okay. My problem with Skyrim is the colors, right?
Uh-huh.
That's why I couldn't get into the
Or the
game.
lack of,
And colors-
almost.
Yeah. and the colors are a part of the graphics.
Mhm.
If a game doesn't have a lot of colors, doesn't have a lot of look to it, it doesn't have an art style
Mm-hmm.
that grips you and draws you in and makes you want to be in this world, I just can't get into it. And along with a boring story from Skyrim,
Mm-hmm.
there's a part where, spoilers, you go into another world, Solstheim, and it just felt like Skyrim again, just a bit more mistier and
Yeah.
darker. Yeah.
Like
Whereas
Oblivion.
in Oblivion, the world is beautiful. There's colors everywhere. You got the whites to the green to the red to the blue. You know, it's everywhere, and it looks so nice. And it still holds up today, even though the face animations
Yeah.
and the facial
Like,
features.
there's like a lot of things I don't like about Oblivion. That being most of the
The
like,
scenery.
yeah. Well, here, let me say something. I've collected my thoughts about Oblivion. Okay, Oblivion is more fun to play after you beat the game. There's more things to do, I think, than Skyrim. There's not a whole lot going on in the world. Like I said about Fallout 4 earlier, there's not a whole lot going. There's less than Skyrim, and I mean, there's not a whole lot happening. But it's still a fun game. That being said, because you can just run around, and things look nice. Things look better than they do in Skyrim, I think, even though Skyrim has far better graphics, because the color scheme is just a lot more bright and vibrant than in Skyrim.
Yeah, it looks so nice, and the music and everything.
The ambiance, I guess.
Together.
Mhm.
Yes. And it just feels like an Elder Scrolls game where Skyrim just feels like a Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
Skyrim
North, blah blah North.
or Oblivion,
It's,
I think
Yeah.
the story like isn't that great. I don't think the story in
Yeah,
any Elder Scrolls game isn't amazing. There's nothing
It's not.
gripping about it, especially in Oblivion to me, because the end game is just so anticlimactic. You
it's
watch
not-
somebody beat somebody. You don't actually beat somebody.
Yeah.
You watch it happen.
And because 2006 was a weird time,
Yeah.
you know, the animation on the fight wasn't that good. It's a dude swinging and then another dude swinging.
Yeah.
And now it looks like I said, the color contrast looks awesome. Going back to the colors, there's this orange dragon fighting this giant red demon, and it's cool, but it feels anticlimactic
Mhm.
a little bit. Personally, I like the ending a lot. I think it's a good ending. You know, he becomes Talos, and Talos fights Mehrunes Dagon.
He becomes
and it's
Akatosh.
Awesome, and at the end,
He becomes Akatosh.
Yeah.
Not Talos.
what did I say, Talos?
You said
I
Talos.
meant to say Akatosh. Yeah, and he gets frozen in stone at the end of it.
We just
It's
said a bunch of gibberish to
awesome.
somebody who doesn't know anything about those games.
Yeah, who doesn't know anything. But, and then again, one thing I don't like about Oblivion that Skyrim kind of has, and hopefully Fallout 4 has, is a dynamic world. Mehrunes Dagon comes through this city, but nothing breaks.
Yeah.
Like, there's a couple things on fire, if I remember, but nothing,
Yeah.
no buildings collapse, and,
I think the building
Yeah.
with Akatosh in it actually had like a hole in the roof, but that was the only thing. Because Akatosh,
yeah,
there was a giant
that's the
statue
only
of a
thing,
dragon
and
in it
it's
now.
so small. And Kvatch is never rebuilt.
Yeah.
It's still a broken
It's just a
city.
broken city
There's
for the
mods
rest of
for it.
time.
The game, yeah, they never fix it. The only thing that changes is that some of the portals just, or actually I think all the portals, turn off.
Yeah, and there's like a ruin of where the portal was. Or,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and that's cool. But, I mean, that's pretty much it for a dynamic world.
Uh-huh.
And everybody just kind of goes on about their day. Nobody, you know, oh yeah, you know, Akatosh fought that demon, whatever. Let's get back to the arena.
Yeah. So, you know what? I think that'll be good. I think that'll be good for new versus old.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now let's transition to a completely different spectrum. Almost. Because it's still
Almost.
heavily flooded with gaming. YouTube. And what's popular on YouTube.
Oh,
So, you have a lot to say about this whole ordeal. I'm just going to step out while you say something crazy about it. Go on a rant. Go on a rant.
I'm gonna go on the biggest rant. Alright, so YouTube, I like it. You can watch things, you know, it's accessible and has a lot of personalities on it. The problem is with YouTube is that when there is a fad, everybody exploits it. It started with Minecraft, or it didn't really start with Minecraft, but there was Minecraft, everybody played it, and it got to the point where Minecraft is just boring now. Nobody plays Minecraft except for a couple of guys who still hold on to it and think it's new and great.
Yeah. Oversaturation.
But yes, and now there's a new fad. The case opening.
Case opening, yeah.
Oh boy.
I've not watched any of these videos because they're just boring to me, and I can't even see why someone would like it. I can't even see why someone would like it. It is dumb.
I don't understand either. Like, I mean, at least when you're watching overreaction videos, right? There's usually something funny on screen, or there were events leading up. All this is a guy clicking on a case, clicking a key, and then, you know, a skin pops up. And that's all it is. You're watching a dude sit down, clicking a couple of buttons, a couple of prompts, and then something pops up, and he reacts, whether it was a good skin or whether it was a bad skin. You're watching someone get something that you don't have for 10 minutes.
I guess it's kind of like reaction videos, like when you're watching someone react, but I can't see the appeal in that. I don't like those videos. I don't like unboxing videos. I don't like basic unboxing videos, nor do I like digital unboxing videos.
It's exactly, right? Like, wouldn't you rather have that item than watch somebody get it?
Yeah.
I mean, even if it isn't YouTuber you like half the time I'm watching a case opening video, right?
Mm.
And I'm like, okay, I'm going into this. Obviously, they're going to talk about what they got. But are they going to have any other commentary? Maybe they're going to talk about stuff. Maybe, I was thinking, maybe these case openings are a way for them to talk to people about stuff and have something, you know, weird or different going on in the background. But all it is a guy sitting there, being silent until a weapon pops up, and then it's like, oh man, this goes on the market for $50. Oh crap, oh boy.
But you spent like $400 to get that $50 item.
Yeah.
So there's another problem.
And oh boy, I'm getting so much bad luck with this case opening. Oh boy, look, I just got a knife. Like, it's not fun, it's not interesting. How can people line up and watch these videos of a guy just doing nothing?
Yeah, I think they're super boring, personally, because they're just sitting around clicking. Boy, that's Yep.
That's fun, and the argument can be made that Let's Plays of video games in general are the same thing.
Clicking. I actually think that most Let's Plays, like basic Let's Plays, I think that they're just a guy doing something, and that I could be doing, but I'm not doing. And, I mean, if they're actually having commentary over it that's, like, actually interesting or, you know, funny, I'll watch it. But it's just boring if a guy is playing a game, to me.
Yeah, because the reason why I watch Let's Plays is for the commentary and to see what they do.
Yeah.
You know, their choices. Or, you know, just how to get something. Whatever.
Yeah.
But case openings are random. You can't see how to get a thing. It's just completely random.
Yeah.
And the guy doesn't talk about anything else, but oh boy, look at this case I got that we're gonna open today. Guys.
Or he's talking about, oh, I hope I get this thing. I hope I get this thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I can't wait to get this thing. There's nothing interesting going on. It's boring, and it's just oversaturated.
Yeah.
How can people watch this?
Yeah, I don't understand.
They're wasting all this money on stuff.
And, like, going back to Let's Plays, I've watched a few Let's Plays. Yeah, 1 second. I'm gonna talk.
Alright.
Here. I've watched a few Let's Plays.
Hold on, be right back.
I've watched a few Let's Plays, and specifically, Ian B's Let's Plays of Dark Souls and Bloodborne's, to where he actually has some I was discussing how I've seen, Epic Name Bros Let's Plays on Dark Souls and Bloodborne. How he actually talks about some of the lore in the games while he's playing the game.
Yes.
And he's talking about things going on in the game and things links to other parts in the game. So there's actually interesting things going on to where it's not just him playing the game.
Gameplay.
Yeah.
there's gameplay, there's story going on while a guy is playing it.
And he's talking about
But
the
case
story and
opening,
stuff that's happening over the game.
yeah. But a case opening, it's just there's nothing. There's no gameplay, there's no story. It's just a guy going, I hope I get this weapon. And the weapon is completely random.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even make a big impact.
Mhm.
It's just a skin.
Yeah, it's just a skin. I mean, non-content at its
There's-
finest. So.
Yeah, like literally. And this has gotten to the point where it's so popular that Valve has made an update for TF2 to where now you can get skins in TF2.
Oh my God, I didn't know about
When I
this.
played TF
Oh my God.
Oh, look it up.
I actually don't even want to.
TF2.
I don't even want to. I'm gonna stay as far away from that as possible.
See, in TF2, what was unique about that is you open up a case and you got something that was different, that did different stuff. It was a new weapon, it was cool, it was nice, it was awesome, right? And now with these skins, it's just become nothing. You're getting nothing. You're paying $4 or $5 or $6 or however much you're paying for nothing that changes
Yeah.
the game except for what your gun looks like.
And you're probably just gonna sell that later. So what's the point,
Yeah.
Um.
I don't understand the fad. Um, you know, and there's been a new game that people are going crazy over, Rocket League.
Rocket League. Yeah.
Which is fine. I've seen gameplay
Now,
of it.
now I've played this game. Okay. And
Yes.
this is probably gonna get kind of big, kind of like Counter-Strike, because it's a competitive
'Cause
game,
there's skins.
and it's a competitive game. But I'm gonna tell you something. The skins in this game, or the cars and the colors and stuff, it's different than in Counter-Strike. There's not just straight up like you can buy a case and open this
Yeah.
case. You have to just play the game. That's
Yeah.
how you do it. You just play the game. You get it after each match, whether you lose or win. You get something new, and you can just equip that on a car.
Yeah. That's how it should be done. I played the game, and for a reward for doing well, I get a good thing. If I do badly, I don't get such a good thing. I get a reward. I get a big enough reward to keep me playing so I can get an even bigger reward.
Mhm.
That's how it should be done. You play, if you lose, you get something that's not that great, so it makes you go, man, I really want to keep playing
Well,
so I can get good, so I can get the big thing.
Well, here's the thing with Rocket League, though, because, like, the stuff you get after each game, it doesn't get increasingly better. It's completely random. So, you don't really know what you're going to get.
I still think it's a step in the right direction.
Yeah,
Better
definitely.
than having to pay $6 for something that only changes a gun.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Um,
And I don't know if they're going to be adding stuff like DLC and later to where you can just buy this and it's like a new whole color palette or different stuff like
Yeah.
that. But I don't know.
and to touch on Rocket League a little bit, I haven't played it, but from the gameplay, the gameplay that I've seen of it, I don't get the hype about it.
No, I don't
Of
think it's
course,
that
I
fun.
haven't played it.
I don't think it's that fun.
Take that.
I would think that you would like it more than I would like it because you like the more multiplayer stuff. I guess like
Yeah.
Chivalry
I
or
love
Counter Strike or whatever.
Chivalry. I love Chivalry so much.
It's not really fun to me. It's just kind of boring, and I don't really like it. The interaction is just kind of eh. So yeah, but I can see how someone would like it. I can actually see how someone would like this compared to unboxings or whatever. I just don't
Yeah,
understand.
because there's gameplay, there's stuff going on, there are people shouting and cursing and saying different things.
Yeah.
Whether, the reaction is based off on what is happening that, isn't just, oh, I got a skin. Oh, no.
They're losing their minds.
It's a skin. I got a skin I didn't want. That's completely random.
Yeah,
you know.
I think that was a good conversation.
It's great.
A good rant you had
Yeah.
there. Good conversation we had.
Yeah, about YouTube and the popularity
Yeah. Also, well,
problems that it's having.
moving on. Some of the movies.
Yes.
Movies. Let's talk about movies.
Yeah.
Recently, a movie
From
came
our
out.
Script here.
Yeah, from our script that we have here laid out for us. Pixels came out. That's a movie.
Oh boy.
Neither of us have seen it, but we're gonna talk about it, and you know we're gonna talk about it because it has Adam Sandler in it, and this is an Adam Sandler movie. What do you have to say about Adam Sandler movies, Asher?
Well, I don't mean to insult Adam Sandler because he is a well-known friend of mine. He is a good friend of mine.
Mine too.
I like Adam
Me
Sandler.
too. He's a good friend.
and he knows he even likes his movies and
He loves his movies, actually.
saying that. He loves it so much. He messaged me the other day saying Pixels was great, and I told him probably isn't.
Now,
Probably Jack and Jill with video games.
now he doesn't even know what Jack and Jill is. I brought it up to him in an A-log, and he didn't know what it was. Maybe Adam Sandler is he repressed that memory, huh?
He probably did. I wouldn't be surprised. But Pixels, is obviously Adam Sandler trying to get as much money as he can, trying to appeal to a lot of people, because I had this feeling when I saw the trailer. I was like, that could be good. Video games invading the planet? That sounds awesome. But we all know Adam Sandler is good for the shekels. He
The
wants
shekels?
The shekels.
That sounds like a terrible disease.
I think it's like the Jewish money.
The Jewish money. Anyways, I'm gonna talk about Pixels because it's a movie that's got bad reviews. Asher said that he thought it had potential. When I saw the trailer, I was thinking in my head, this is the dumbest thing that has ever been thought up by this man. It is.
Yeah, it's Hebrew. Shekels are Hebrewic type stuff.
Oh, that's interesting. You
Yeah.
learn a new thing every day. Like this video, if you didn't know that, please. Anyways,
Like and subscribe.
in the middle of the video. Anyways, Adam Sandler, Pixels. Get back to this because you derailed me. You completely derailed me. Asher, what were you talking about, Pixels?
Yeah. I was saying how a lot of people are probably going to be drawn into it because it has video games in it. And we
Yeah.
all love video games.
Just kind of a bait and
that's
switch.
Probably how he's going to get his money. It's because people are like, man, that could be good. I like the idea of video games. You know, and it's appealing to the older audience because we got Pac-Man and Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
And, you know, people love that.
People love that.
And so they're gonna be drawn in, and they're just gonna get disappointed. And Adam Sandler is just gonna be rolling in his money, in his Jack and Jill money.
Jack and Jill money.
He's gonna be counting it and making it rain.
Now,
He'd love it.
I have an interesting question. Do you think the
Yeah.
quality of Adam Sandler's movies have gone down, or do you think that people just stopped caring?
I think people have stopped caring, so now Adam Sandler is just trying to go down as low as he can.
So both. You think it's both?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, because we don't care, therefore he doesn't care, so therefore he's just trying to go as low as he can.
Right. So that's an interesting conversation. That's all I have to say about that. That's all we're going to talk about Adam Sandler
Shekels.
and his merry friends.
Shekels and the,
I saw that. I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go look at shekels.
You're gonna go to Shekels?
No, I'm not going to go check out some shekels. Star
There,
Wars.
you know-
Another movie. Star Wars Episode 7.
Yes.
I can't remember what the underlining name of it is. Star Wars Episode 7. What was it called?
Force Awakens.
Force Awakens. Dun 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 dun.
The Force... wait,
Awakens.
Yeah, no.
The Force Awakens, that's it.
Awakening Force.
Awakening
The
Force.
Force Unleashed. That's what...
The Force Unleashed is a video game.
I know. But The Force Awakens just sounds similar to Force Unleashed.
It does sound similar. Anyways, so the movie's going to be coming out December of this year. Holy crap. Another Star Wars movie in my lifetime? Wow. It's not like there were two other ones
Whoa.
that were bad.
Wow. Not talking about the prequels. Not talking about the
Bad.
Christmas
They were
special.
they were bad. I'm talking about I'm talking about 2 and 3 right now. Those movies are bad.
Oh.
And
No, they are.
well, hey, I'm going to say
Except
something.
for our one friend who
3.
loves 'em.
Hey. Star Wars Episode 3 wasn't terrible.
It was better than the other two.
It wasn't a bad movie, but it was a bad Star Wars movie.
Yes.
Anyways.
That's the perfect way to describe it.
What are your fears for the new Star Wars movie?
Oh boy. My fears for it are that a lot of it's gonna be CGI. I'm scared that there's just gonna be so much CGI.
That is just annoying.
It is. Like, I mean, I'm not against CGI. I think
Yeah.
it's a great thing.
But, like,
Use
too much of it.
sparingly.
Too much of it's just a bad thing.
Yeah.
And using it sparingly, a perfect example would be the new Mad Max movie. Like, I think there was just a couple things in that
Yes.
movie were actually
Oh
just
my
CGI.
goodness.
Like the storm, the
Yeah.
giant storm. I think that was the only thing in the movie that I can
Yes.
think of that was just CGI.
But
the rest of the movie,
everything was a prop.
everything else was real. Like, you know, the speaker, the vehicle with the guy riding on like the
Yeah,
guitar and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
That was real. It
The
even worked.
guitar.
It even worked. The speakers worked on it.
And guess what? And guess what? Because they took the time to make these props and stuff that actually worked and did the stuff they did in the movie, it made it look really real to the point where it even exceeded CGI,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
It looked so great. See, when you make a prop, people love it
Yeah.
because it looks real, because it is real. Because if we were to be on set, we could touch it, we could feel it.
Yeah.
You know, it isn't, and that's what makes it great. And that's what I'm scared about the Star Wars. Are most of the ships just gonna be CGI mess where you can tell it's fake?
Yeah.
Because I don't want that. I want it to be props. I want there to be stuff I can touch and feel. Besides the actors.
Yeah. Their clothes. Their clothes are CGI.
Their bodies.
Anyways, yeah, I don't really have a whole ton of fears for this movie. I actually think it's gonna be a pretty good movie because J.J. Abrams is a really good director. Like
Jack and Jill Abrams.
Jack and Jill Abrams. That's right, Jack and Jill Abrams. Oh my gosh, it's a revelation. Holy crap. Anyways, yeah, like I said, I don't really have a whole ton of fears for this movie.
I think it's gonna be good.
I think it's gonna be good too. There's gonna be some other movies coming out. What are your most anticipated movies of the next few years?
Oh boy, half of them are like Marvel.
Marvel movies?
Marvel.
I don't care about any of the Marvel movies coming out. Which
I don't either.
Like,
Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad is DC.
Oh, I'm
Come
sorry,
on,
so
man.
is Cyborg. But you didn't hear
Cyborg?
me complaining.
Good God, I'm talking about Doctor Strange. I'm talking about Fantastic Four, which is coming out like next month.
Oh, that sounds terrible. Nobody cares for the Fantastic Four. Who loves the Fantastic Four? Not me.
Not me either. I'm sure there's like 3 people. But anyways, like Doctor Strange, why is he getting a movie? You know? I can see why Deadpool's getting a movie, but I haven't cared about Deadpool since I was in 7th grade.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know. Is the Deadpool movie gonna be the actual Deadpool and not whatever?
it's not gonna be X-Men Origins Wolverine Deadpool, I can tell you that much. They've had some pictures and it was the actual Deadpool. It's probably gonna be a good movie. But you know.
Probably, but I just, it's just not interesting. I'm tired of superhero Marvel. I want to have a new Godzilla movie. Where is my new Godzilla?
It's coming up. I think there's actually gonna be one. There's gonna be one. I don't know about the whole details and stuff.
But there's definitely gonna be one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just tired of superheroes. There's just too much of them. I don't care for them. I don't want them. I would like to see more interesting movies. I would like to see like Lovecraftian movies.
Yeah.
Get some Cthulhu in there.
Um,
You know, weird horror.
one movie that I'm
Actually good psychological horror
super pumped
movies.
for, is in fact the next Mad Max movie, Mad Max Wasteland, because I don't care how good this new Star Wars movie is, I don't think it's gonna be better than Mad Max. Because
Mad Max has just taken it by storm.
it didn't have a huge, like, it wasn't number one. It wasn't number one. But I'm saying that was the best movie of the year. It wasn't number one in the box office, but I'm saying that's the best movie of the year.
It is.
And that's like one of the best movies of like the last like 10 years probably. That was a great movie.
When you put love into your movie, when you build stuff because you love your movie, it shows. And those emotions go into the crowd, which makes them love it. When they see the care and appreciation that you do, where you mold the story and it's good, mold the characters, mold the freaking props. When you do all this stuff and you put all this love, it comes out into the audience.
Yeah.
And the audience wants to embrace your love.
Yeah. Yeah. Well worded. Well worded.
That's how you put it. That's how you do it.
Kind of wanting the new Batman movie.
Made Happy Feet. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Batman.
I think he is. He's the same guy who made Babe and Happy Feet 2.
Oh, that's great. You know, he put a lot of love into those movies.
Yeah,
too.
that'll do, pig.
When he
That'll
was
do.
modeling the penguins, he put so much love into.
And when he modeled that pig in Babe, oh my god.
Dude, you could tell the love.
You could see.
He had.
You could see the pig. It was almost like it was a real pig.
Sometimes, when you turned around and you saw the pig's butt, you could see his face.
You could see his face. Anyways,
On the rear.
another movie I'm pumped for. I hope they make it.
So much love.
Nah, I'm not saying this is gonna be a good movie because I don't know enough details about the movie to say whether it's gonna be good in my mind. Is that the Hellraiser remake? Not reboot. Remake. They're gonna be remaking number 1. Now whether they have Clive Barker a part of it or not depends or changes the way I think about it. Because if they do have Clive Barker on it, I'm thinking it's gonna be a good movie. If they don't, I think it's just gonna be garbage.
Yeah, I do too. No one is able to capture Hellraiser like Clive Barker has been able to.
Now, Hellraiser 1, my favorite movie of all time. It's a great movie. I'm not gonna say it's a great movie. It's a good movie. I like it. I'm not gonna say it's a great movie. But Hellraiser, all of the sequels, all of the 8 sequels for that movie are all just a cash-in. They all are cash-ins, and they all feel like cash-ins. And there's like no like heart in them. I can see why someone would like the second or third or fourth movie. But everything else, when it went to straight to DVD, garbage.
Yeah.
And the quality increasingly goes down until it finally hit like rock bottom with number 9, to where they didn't even have the guy who played Pinhead in every one of the movies in it anymore because they were just so bad.
You know, and you gotta respect Clive Barker for what he's done, and you gotta think he's looking at all these Hellraiser movies, and man, the guy must feel shot down. He was in a coma.
His name was linked. His name is tied very strongly to every one of these movies, and all of them except for the first one have nothing to do with him almost, except for a character and a name. It's just bad.
Yeah.
Like,
See,
he almost died, just like while he was writing this book called The Scarlet Gospels. He almost died of toxic shock syndrome, which put him into a coma, and just like, how do you deal with all of this nonsense that's been put on him?
I know, right? Like, he wakes up and he just sees the movies and he just changes his name to Peter Parker. And
He's Spider-Man now.
Segue on to Amazing Spider-Man 3. What are your thoughts?
Amazing Spider-Man 3 gonna be the best movie ever made. It's gonna be the best movie ever made. Better than
I
Hellraiser.
would love to see that.
Better than Hellraiser.
Clive
Barker's Spider-Man.
His name's Peter Parker.
I'm kind of into the new Dawn of Justice stuff. I like the Batman vs Superman stuff. A lot of people didn't like the Superman movie, the whatever it's called, Man of Steel. I like that movie.
Oh yeah.
I did enjoy that movie.
I enjoyed some parts. I think the he destroyed all of this and did all of that is a little overreacted.
Yeah.
I do agree that a lot of the destruction was unneeded. You know, Superman.
Yeah.
Could have tried harder to be Superman.
Well, yeah, I see that, but also, like, there's this, like, misconception that, like, Superman is the greatest guy ever. He is absolutely perfect, and he can do no wrong.
He has
But there's not.
You know.
He's like, he's pretty much a human being that can do some extra stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of shows that he kind of lets the power get to him a little bit. You know, he went to and this is kind of spoilers for people who haven't seen it, but he goes to the military to turn himself in.
Yeah.
But the whole entire time, he's acting really cocky. He's like, whatever, you're the military, I could take you out in 2 seconds, whatever, doesn't matter, I'm Superman.
Yeah.
If I had my superpowers, I could have taken on that tornado that killed my dad. Like, it doesn't...
Yeah.
He's not exactly the greatest guy.
I'm just thinking this is gonna be a good movie. It's gonna be a good movie coming up.
Yeah.
And Ben Affleck, a lot of people have problems with Ben Affleck being Batman, but in my head, what I imagine of Bruce Wayne is exactly what Bruce Affleck looks like. He looks
Bruce
just
Affleck.
like he looks Bruce Affleck, yeah. Ben Affleck looks like. He looks just like that. In my head, Bruce Wayne looks just like Ben Affleck.
I was just like, anybody but Christian Bale.
Christian Bale doesn't look like Bruce Wayne to me. He's just
No,
like,
doesn't. And he doesn't sound like Bruce Wayne.
yeah, there's nothing about that that strikes me as Batman. But I mean, I'm saying that those 3 movies are great movies still. Those are still good movies.
Yeah.
No matter who's playing Batman.
No matter the actor.
And I mean, that's another thing. It doesn't matter who's playing Batman. It matters the story.
Yeah, it just matters. Okay, my problem isn't who plays him. It's if they get the character right.
Yeah.
If when they play him, they play what Batman should be. He's supposed to be really dark. He doesn't want to, he doesn't resort to murder. You know, that's his last-ditch effort type thing. He hates it. He won't even kill the Joker. And he's just... And the Joker puts it best in one of the cartoons. You're just a boy in a suit. And that's what Batman is. He's trying to... He's trying to correct what he couldn't save, right? He couldn't save his parents, so he's trying to save people from suffering the same fate. And as long as they capture that, as long as they capture Batman, I'm fine with them.
Yeah.
You know?
The Suicide Squad movie,
As long
though,
as they do that.
and it's linked to it, I don't think that movie's gonna be good.
Did you see the fan theory that the Joker is actually going to be one of the Robins? I forgot what Robin it was, but whatever Robin who got shot and tortured by the Joker and got that like J tattooed.
I'm trying to think.
Or scar.
I can't remember which one it is.
Arkham
Yeah,
Knight.
yeah.
He was the Arkham Knight.
Yeah.
in
No
Arkham
spoilers, Asher. I mean, for spoiler alert on that.
Knight.
It's kind of a big point in the game. But,
Everybody saw it coming from a mile away.
yeah.
Who didn't see the Arkham Knight being,
Yeah.
whoever that Robin was. I don't even remember his name. Whatever.
1 second, let me look it up.
There's a fan theory
Jason Todd.
about
Jason Todd.
Jason Todd, that's who it is. There is a fan theory about Jason Todd actually being the Joker in Suicide Squad.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't think it's gonna be a good movie. I saw the Joker and he looks dumb. I saw, some of the stuff
I like the Joker.
and it just looks dumb.
Like I can understand the Joker looks more lunatic.
It just kind of looks like it's just shoved in our face that he's crazy. There's no like
Yeah.
deeper meaning to anything. It's not just like it's the Joker in whatever that movie was, Dark Knight, was pretty good.
Yeah.
It's a good Joker.
Yeah.
He was a good Joker for the
It was
world.
a combination of craziness, his ragged hair, but he also kept the character, which was a clown.
Yeah. In this
one,
movie, it just looks like it's just a guy,
red lipstick.
a crazy guy.
Red lip-
Oh my gosh, he's crazy. That's what he looks like. Oh my gosh, he's crazy. Like it looks so dumbed down
Yeah.
that there's nothing to it. Like everything that's there, it's right there.
What was cool about the Joker was his getup. You know, he was in purple, he had weird hair, he had a weird face, he smiled all the time, and he was crazy, but he was a good villain, he had character. But this guy just looks like some teenager that decided, you know what, I'm gonna take off my shirt, roam around in some khakis,
And I'm gonna get
red lipstick.
and I'm gonna get Disturbed written on my forehead.
Yeah. Yeah.
Speaking of
And
Disturbed,
I'm gonna
they make
tattoo my
music.
body.
Guess who else makes music?
Oh,
Glenn
we're
Danzig.
going in-
Glenn Danzig, the greatest musician who ever lived. Recently,
Except not.
nah, you're not talking about nothing. Get out of here, scrub. Glenn Danzig, the greatest musician who ever lived. Recently, put someone in a headlock because he was being a little rude at his concerts, quote unquote rude. I'm saying that, but he was kind of being rude. This guy who got put in a headlock recently, or not recently, but a few months ago, threw sugar on Adam Levine and threw a rock at The Rock. Okay. This guy heard that Glenn Danzig doesn't like cameras and film at his concerts, so he went to one of his concerts, started filming him in the concert, then went after the concert to his tour bus, started talking to Glenn Danzig, took out a camera, and he's like, how much do you like being on, or he said something along the lines of, do you like being on camera? And it's just kind of, rude. Just being rude.
Oh my god. That is. Wow. That is amazing.
So then Glenn Danzig
Like,
put
what-
him in a headlock. I mean, this guy, I'm going to say some stuff about the guy. He's a 60-year-old man. He just turned 60 like a couple of months ago. Okay? And he's 5'4". This guy got put in a headlock by a 5'4", 60-year-old.
That's great. Like, I know Glenn Danzig doesn't have a Danzig, whatever. I know he doesn't have a great temper.
No,
But-
definitely not.
He the guy had it coming to him.
Yeah.
Like, to do something like that.
Yeah. And, I mean, he's being really rude. So, what do you think about rude people
Yeah.
in general? Just
You
like-
know, crappy.
Yeah, like, and that was a good conversation we had. Next topic, Arkham Knight.
Next point.
Arkham Knight.
Hey.
So,
Hey.
Arkham Knight was a game that we were recently talking about. Spoilers.
Jason Todd.
Jason Todd is the Arkham Knight. But about last month, there was a giant bomb that got dropped.
That blew up. Took out New York.
Yeah, there was a giant bomb that got dropped called Arkham Knight on the world, and it had the worst graphical errors of all time. Not really, I don't know what has the worst graphical errors of all time, but on the PC it had some terrible graphic problems. What do you have to say about this? Like, it's just
Frame
terrible
rate,
when you do
It
this.
was just not good.
And apparently Warner Brothers
Like,
knew
okay.
about this. They knew about this happening.
No, you know what's even worse? Okay, Rocksteady, right?
Yeah,
Those are the people that
big
make
bad
the
developer.
Arkham game.
Yeah.
But they gave the Arkham port to another company, if I remember correctly.
Well, they're a porting company, a company who's supposed to be able to do that kind of stuff, but I guess
Yeah.
they didn't do their research because they didn't do it right. They should have gave it to someone who
No,
knows
they
what
did
they're
not.
doing.
It's so dumb that they did this. Like, why not just, make the PC version?
Well,
Or if
here's
you
the thing.
port it-
Here's the thing. Not all like studios or like I mean, porting something to PC is not the same thing as just making the game, and you'd have to like hire a bunch of people, or you could just send it to a different developer to where they can do all the stuff,
Fair
and
enough.
you can have all of your resources on something. So that's what a lot of companies do. Instead of just hiring a bunch more people, they just send it to a different place.
Yeah. Well, fair enough. Fair enough. I
But they
guess.
should have done their
But
research.
still.
They should have done their
Yeah,
research.
the company they were sending it to. Ugh.
And I remember something coming out recently that the game wasn't gonna be like completely fixed until like a later date. I don't know the later date. I'm gonna try to think maybe spring of next year, or it wasn't soon. It was not soon at all.
That's really dumb. If you make a bad port, you want to get to that immediately. You
Yeah.
don't want to have people that can't experience something you made not have the same experience as you intended it for them.
Yeah.
And to just do this is just kind of, it goes back to rude people. Just doing that is so mean.
Yeah.
To fans who love your series and have given you, or not given you.
Given you.
Given you, their money and support, and you're just like, well, no, here's a crappy port.
Yeah, here it is.
The game itself isn't even that great.
No. And this was kind of like how it was in Arkham Origins, except for when Arkham Origins came out, there wasn't Steam refunds. And because of that, they didn't care. So they just let the problem persist, and they just kept working on DLC. They even said that they're just not going to care. They just don't care. That they're just going to keep working on DLC.
That's... Now, and I'm glad Steam refunds is a thing. Now they can't do that.
They can't do that because people are just going to refund the game.
Yeah. So now it's like, oh, well, we better make an actual game, and... and not leave people in the dust, or else they're gonna get their money back.
Yeah.
I'm glad that's a thing now.
Yeah.
Slaughtering grounds.
Slaughtering
Can
grounds.
now be refunded.
Woohoo! I've actually done that, but then I went back and bought the game. So. Yeah.
Oh, you're admitting that. You're admitting you bought the game.
I bought the game. Let me recant how many times I've bought that game. Let me recant how many times I've purchased that game. I purchased it for you, for someone else. I can't remember. I think I gave it to Anthony, but I think he gave it to Grant. I think I gave it to Sam. I bought it once for myself. I refunded it, and then I bought it a second time for myself. So how many ever times that is?
You enjoy that game. You want to give Digital Homicide the rightful developer reputation.
Yeah, Jim Sterling.
Good company.
Go away. Go to the
Jim
bathroom.
Sterling
Go
is
down the
just a
toilet.
Fraud.
Jim Sterling is a fraud.
Jim Sterling sucks. I hate you, Jim Sterling. John Sterling.
John Sterling.
I hate you.
John Sterling, you're the worst.
Jacob Sterling.
G. Kobe.
More like Jim Hurling.
Ooh.
Content makes me puke.
Ooh hoo hoo.
Yeah.
Ooh hoo hoo.
Oh, get ready.
Jokes aside, though, Jim Sterling, you're great. A plus.
Jim Sterling.
A plus. Anyways, yeah, I've also bought that one game. I can't remember what it's called. About a child or whatever going around destroying things, and I gave it to you.
Temper Tantrum.
Temper Tantrum. That's what it's called.
They're coming out with a second Temper Tantrum.
Where did you hear this?
Look it up.
I'm not.
Temper Tantrum 2.
I'm not gonna buy it for you. I'm gonna buy it for myself.
Dang it.
And I'm gonna play it.
My favorite game.
The only time you ranked up on it is the time that I played on it on your computer.
Hold on. Let me go to this here.
This here, yeah, of course. What is this here?
This here. You're about to find out.
Oh, well, in mid-filler, there's also been some nonsense getting dropped about games and stuff. FNAF 4, Final Night at Freddy's. That's what they should have called it instead of Five Nights at Freddy's. Final Night at Freddy's. That would have been a better name.
Dude, that's great. Dude, that sounds so scary. Final Night.
Instead of Five Nights at Freddy's 4, they just could have called it Final Night at Freddy's. I should be the developer of that game.
Yeah, you should be Scott.
I should be Scott. I should be Scott. But that game caught Cotton or Cawthon. Caw. I have no idea.
It got put in the coffin.
Coffin, yeah. Scott Coffin. But it got released early or something. I don't know. I've never played any of those games. Turn your Jim Sterling off.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Turn your Jim Sterling off. We're just rambling at this point, even though we have a whole nother topic to discuss.
But yeah, Five Nights at Freddy's, that was released. The final chapter.
Final Night at Freddy's.
They're gonna come out with DLC for it. There's gonna be DLC.
No.
For Five Nights at Freddy's 4.
Oh my god.
It's probably gonna be titled The Fifth Night.
The Final Night. The Final Night.
The Arkham Knight.
The Arkham Knight at Freddy's.
You turn on your light and
Batman's right there. Jason Todd, watch out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
Man.
esports is a thing that got a regulation placed on it this last couple of weeks. I don't know what I'm talking about, but there's been the drugs. They've been pulling back the reins because recently there was an interview that went down after something happened, and some dude was like, "Oh yeah, everybody's taking Adderall. We all kind of know it. I mean, if you listen to the comms, you can tell because they're all like Loco Burrito, and they're taking Adderall, which pretty much like it's for people with ADHD, so they can like focus better.
Good.
So they can focus better.
Good.
Oh, I bet it does. But so they can focus better.
Love
But for people who don't have ADHD, it'll keep them like up, like just studying and stuff, like crazy. So, and a lot of college
That's
people,
what they need.
a lot of people who
What
are in
do they
college
want?
do it. And I guess these professional gamers.
Commentators who fall asleep? Is that what?
No, it wasn't commentators. The commentators aren't doing that. The people who are playing the games are doing that.
Well, what do they want? The video gamers to fall asleep?
Yes, that's what they want.
Good night's rest? That's dumb. No.
Because every person who plays games never sleep.
I know I don't.
It's not like people who play sports never like sleep the night before or anything.
No, they stay up all night. They're like
They stay up all night,
insomniac.
running in place. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting how it's taken more as a sport, even though it's just people sitting around.
Yeah. I mean, when you get down to it, it's just people not even moving.
What is the definition of a sport? Sport
We're about to find
definition.
out. Here live. You're about to find out what a sport is.
Right now, an activity involving what am I talking about? An activity involving physical exertion and skill in which an individual or team competes against another or others for entertainment. Now, it halfway qualifies as a sport, given this one. But the other half, in fact, does not, given the person is just sitting around.
They're gonna call it. They should rename it to H Sports, and the H stands for half.
Half sports. Half sports. Half-Life 3 confirmed? No, quite the opposite, actually. I don't have this on the list of things to talk about, but I have a thing to say about it. The Rooster Teeth affiliated channel on YouTube dropped a bomb that's related to Half-Life 3 and how there's like 10 people working on the game. So pretty much the game's never going to come out. What do you have to say about this? Like, I've never cared about Half-Life 3 personally.
I think it's gonna come out.
You think it's going to come out?
I never cared for it either. I think it's gonna come out, and it's gonna be like a Telltale series.
Telltale series, Half-Life 3, Episode 9.
You can play as Freedman Gordon.
Freedman Gordon? Freedman Gordon? Wait a minute.
You know,
Did you say Freedman Gordon or Freeman Gordon?
I said Freedman Gordon.
Freedman?
Is that not how his name is pronounced?
Freedman? Okay, sure. He was once a slave.
I'm not gonna attend.
This is before the slaves were inaugurated. Inaugurated?
What? What? No, Freedman Gordon.
Freedman Gordon. Yeah, sure.
It's gonna be, one of the choices you have to make is crowbar or not to crowbar. Cro-Magnon.
Or not to Cro-Magnon. Neanderthals confirmed for Half-Life 3.
Yes. And we're gonna be doing some of the voice actors. Alright.
What'd you just... What?
We're gonna be some of
We're gonna be doing some of the voice actors.
voice actors for the game.
Abraham Lincoln.
I'm gonna be George Washington.
And
it's gonna be like a Telltale game.
Freeman Gordon.
That ultimately don't matter in the game. And you pay $5 for
every week.
content that hasn't even been released yet.
Yeah.
So I think it's gonna be a good series. Half-Life, Telltale, Borderlands 2.
Half-Life Telltale's Borderlands 2, Episode 9. Confirmed.
And watch out for our names to pop up.
Yeah. And watch out for Adam Sandler. Because he's stalking you. No matter where you live, he's stalking you.
He really is.
He really is. He texted you.
He texted me, like, I blocked him on Steam, but then he just started texting me on my phone saying, you'll never be able to outrun me.
Him, Adam Sandler.
I got really scared.
And I think that was a good conversation that we had about all this nonsense. So that'll wrap this up.
We barely even touched on esports.
We barely touched on it. And you know what we touched on even less? Rude people.
What?
But I brought Glenn Danzig into the conversation. That's all that matters to me.
Alright. I mean...
Speaking of Glenn Danzig.
Wanted to.
Danzig?
Danzig?
Goodbye.
Which
Okay.
one is it?